Module overview. Painting is not solely an act of applying pigment to a surface. It is an intimate conversation between material and medium, where the support and substrate critically influence absorption, texture, longevity, and overall aesthetic outcome. This module dives deeply into the anatomy of painting surfaces, including how to choose, prepare, prime, and preserve them based on the demands of oil, acrylic, or watercolor. By investigating both historical and contemporary practices, artists will develop a professional command of surface preparation that supports conceptual intent, technical quality, and archival permanence. Section 1. Understanding supports versus substrates. Support refers to the structural material that holds the painting surface, for example, canvas, wood, paper. Substrate is the actual paint-receiving surface, e.g., gessoed canvas, watercolor paper, panel primed with rabbit skin glue. The integrity and responsiveness of a painting depend on the harmony between medium, support, and surface treatment. Section 2. Traditional and modern support types. Oil painting supports: stretched canvas, linen, cotton. Linen equals stronger, archival, cotton equals more affordable, requires oil gesso or acrylic gesso priming. Wood panel, rigid, stable, used since the Renaissance. Birch, MDF, hardboard with glue sizing plus gesso. Metal, copper, aluminum, used for smooth, luminous effects, needs sanded or etched surface with adhesive priming. Acrylic painting supports: canvas, cotton, or synthetic, ideal due to acrylic's flexibility. Wood panels require acrylic gesso, suitable for textural buildup. Plexiglass and acrylic sheets, modern use for transparency, must be primed with clear gesso or matte medium. Paper, heavyweight, acrylic specific, textured and primed for adhesion. Watercolor supports: watercolor paper, 100% cotton, acid-free, cold or hot press. Heavier weights, 300 grams per square meter, resist buckling. Yupo paper, synthetic, non-absorbent, used for modern effects. Canvas for watercolor. Specially primed to accept watery pigment but not traditional. Section 3. Surface preparation methods. For oil, sizing with rabbit skin glue or PVA to prevent oil from rotting fibers. Oil gesso or lead ground, used traditionally. Acrylic gesso, modern alternative, seals and primes with titanium white. For acrylic, acrylic gesso is standard, builds texture and tooth. Can use texture paste or modeling compound beneath or over. For watercolor, stretching paper, using soaking plus taping or staple method. Avoid priming raw paper surfaces needed for pigment behavior. Masking techniques for preserving white areas. Section 4. Effects of surface on medium performance. Here we will be using surface trait, oil, acrylic, and watercolor in our table 1. Absorbency low, requires sealing. Medium, good adhesion. High, affects pigment pooling. 2. Exture, tooth, canvas, wood influence stroke, holds impasto or flat washes, defines crispness of edges. 3. Flexibility. Canvas can expand/contract. Panel stable paper can warp unless stretched. A poorly prepped surface can lead to flaking, discoloration, or structural failure. Artists can exploit different substrates to achieve intentional aesthetic effects like brush drag, pigment granulation, or smooth blending. Section 5. Archival considerations. Acid-free. All supports should be acid-free for permanence. Support-induced discoloration, SID, can affect acrylics if wood is unsealed. Barrier layers. Essential when working with oils on absorbent surfaces. Environmental conditions. Temperature, humidity, and light exposure affect aging and warping. Section 5. Archival considerations. Acid-free. All supports should be acid-free for permanence. Support-induced discoloration, SID, can affect acrylics if wood is unsealed. Barrier layers. Essential when working with oils on absorbent surfaces. Environmental conditions. Temperature, humidity, and light exposure affect aging and warping. Section 6. Historical and contemporary examples. Renaissance artists painted oils on wooden panels sealed with rabbit skin glue and gesso. Impressionists favored pre-primed linen canvases for portability. David Hockney uses acrylics on hardboard and perspex for sharp color fields. Contemporary watercolorists experiment with textured yupo or unconventional supports like fabric or rice paper. Section 7. Studio exercises. Prime 3 canvases with different gesso layers and compare absorbency and color vibrancy. Paint the same subject in watercolor on hot press, cold press, and yupo paper. Compare pigment flow and granulation. Create a mixed media work on a wooden panel, using acrylic mediums to build surface layers. Learning outcomes. By the end of this module, you will understand the difference between supports and substrates and their impact on the artwork. Prepare a variety of surfaces correctly for oil, acrylic, and watercolor. Choose appropriate ground treatments based on medium and technique. Anticipate long-term effects of surface decisions on durability and appearance. Experiment with non-traditional supports to expand stylistic versatility.